Hey, good people. Belatedly, we bring you episode 10 of 254 Rugby. Well, we were supposed to air earlier during the week. We were all set, and then I discovered that I had thrown away my laptop charger in the trash, and therefore, after being ready, set, just about to go, it was abort mission. Well, that was the story, and here to make fun of me first of all is Walter Orang'i. Walter, how you doing, man?
Hey, hey, Michael. Sad that you actually had to lose your your charger. But yeah, guys, this is Walter Orang'i here, coming to your screens once again. Pleasure to have you guys on board, and also thank you, Mike, for having me once again.
Definitely, and you know, if it wasn't for your, what can I say, for your urging, this episode ingezama na maji, ingeenda na maji. But you know, you told me, hey, we've got to do this episode. Me had already said it's gone, but thanks. And you know, you remind me of my former principal at Kakamega High School, the late Stanley Ingosi Ashitiva. He used to say and say in a Lunje accent, but persistence and determination alone is omnipotent. Anyway,
Right, you're right, Michael. And I actually thought because I got a few calls from some of our viewers and listeners, and the question was, where is this week's episode? So guys are really interested in this. Thank you so much for that feedback. It's very important that we also know that you guys are interested in hearing what we say week in, week out. Sometimes we might even sound like broken records, but yeah, it's very encouraging that we have people who are consistent about this, and we also have to be consistent, just like you said. I mean, it's something that people love, and it's always a pleasure doing this.
awesome. Now, quickly, let's go to what happened this past weekend. Kenya Harlequin. Well, me and you in our predictions didn't give them a chance to win the Driftwood Sevens in Mombasa, but guess what? They won the title, they won the Driftwood Sevens, and they make the race for the overall title. I think it's all about them. It's theirs to lose because they're now on 97 points, Cabras on 88, KCB on 86. But Queens reigned supreme in Mombasa. What worked for them?
I don't know what I can attribute to Kenya Harlequins' performance in Mombasa, but this is that fighting spirit that Pau has always instilled in his teams, and it was very interesting to see how they went through their pool play. They went through the cup quarters, the semis, and then to the final. I had predicted a Kenya Harlequins versus KCB final. However, I missed it at the final asking of my prediction because uh, I mean, it was a game of two halves. That's something I can tell you of for a fact. KCB came out of the blocks, scored quickly. Kenya Harlequins actually did what they did to KCB in Kakamega. They came from behind and scored when it matters. They're now top of the league, top of the table going into Nakuru. Just like you've said, it's really theirs to lose, and I don't see it happening. I don't, barring a calamity, really, unless they drop out in the cup. I mean, in the pool play, in which I don't really see them doing that because looking at the squad that they have, looking at the quality of players that Pau has put together, and also the tactical awareness of, I mean, Kenya Harlequins and how they play. It's not easy beating KCB, a red hot KCB team, and coming from behind. It's a big statement. So, yeah, it's theirs to lose. It's a weekend. It's a final weekend, and I'm looking forward to seeing Kenya Harlequins at least carry the Sportpesa National 7 circuit.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the standings there on our screens, Queens are on 97 points, Cabras 88 points, KCB 86 points. technically what this means. I was just doing this math the other day. KCB, even if they win the Prinsloo Sevens, that will take them to 108 points. Queens just need to finish, in that scenario, to finish sixth, as they'll be on 109 points. That is an unassailable lead. Now, in the event that Cabras Sugar win the tournament, Cabras will be on 110 points, right? Queens, in that scenario, just need to finish third. They'll be on 112 points. Basically, it is theirs to lose. And does that mean that it is the end of the road for KCB and Cabras in the title hunt for the Sportpesa National 7 circuit?
Michael, I would disagree by saying that it would be the end of the road. Because at the end of the day, being that last tournament and it has so much in terms of a promise, I think Kenya Harlequins just have to get the job done. At the end of the day, they just not. They will not just sit back, relax, and say, okay, now because we are doing, we are top of the table, and of course we we are top of the table going into Nakuru. So I mean, it's for us to lose it. No, it doesn't have to be like that. Kenya Harlequins have to work for the cup. And like you pointed it out, Cabras are chasing. They're rightly behind on 88 points. KCB on 86, and drama on match days and on last days is very very promised. I mean, there is no way we can't expect drama because this is what the game is all about. Now, 7 minutes of any game can go in any direction for either sides. So first and foremost, the job has to be qualify for the cup quarters for all the three sides looking to qualify for that top position. And then now gradually it becomes a small tournament within a tournament. Now Kenya Harlequins know that our tournament is going to be, we have to, our maximum points have to be, we have to finish third at least for us to now get that top position. Cabras, on the other hand, know that the onus is on them. They have to win and then hope and pray that Kenya Harlequins finish fourth. KCB, on the other hand, will hope to win that tournament and also hope that Cabras and of course Kenya Harlequins do not get those high positions. That is 1, 2, 3. So there is also a small game in between there, just in case KCB and Cabras falter and KCB and Queens falter, and maybe they don't make the cup semis, and Cabras go ahead and win the tournament. That also throws in a spanner in the works. So I believe it's an open weekend, a very good opportunity for all sides. I'm made aware that Kenya Sevens players will be playing for their respective teams. At least this year, we've had to see them for that long, and it's a balance. It's a balance of play, and I'm looking forward to this weekend because Michael, there promises to be a lot of drama in Nakuru.
Okay, and just before now we go to Nakuru, what were your outstanding moments from the Driftwood Sevens?
Well, it would go without saying that I mean, the most important moment would be that Brian Ratila try, the dying embers of that cup final. But before we go into that specific cup final, you would see that there are teams that really put some good performances last weekend. The likes of Zetec, Oaks, the likes of Black Blood, who qualified for their first cup quarters and actually made it to the cup semis for the very first time. And but to me, that is the highlight of the tournament, really. The two sides, that is Zetec Oaks and, of course, Black Blood making the cup quarters. That has to be the most university-like performance from the two sides, because they've always been troublemakers. We all know that Black Blood on a good day, and coming from the group that they came from, we talked about it, and it was a very open group, and they took their chances, stuck by whatever it is that they had prepared for, and that position. And also, I'd like to mention out Stallions Rugby. Stallions have managed to actually hold that Division One category ticket for the longest time. And last weekend was no difference. They went through the cup, the group stages, just like they do each and every week. And finally, they did what they do on match day two. They actually played. They have one most important game on a match week, and that is first game on day two. Whether they are playing in the cup quarters, whether they are playing in the Challenger Trophy, that is the most important game for them, and that is what they do: win that game on match day two. So the three teams: Stallions, Daystar Falcon, Zitek Oaks, and of course Black Blood, were my teams of the tournament. Really, they did cause lots of upsets, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them yet again this weekend as they close down the league.
Great. Now, scrolling on our screens is the polls for the Prinsloo Sevens. It is the final round of the 2024 Sportpesa National Sevens Circuit. There is the men's competition and the women's competition, which has attracted a record 12 teams. Maybe quickly we look at the women's competition. In Pool A, there is Impala, Racket, Western Spears, NYS Gilgil. Pool B has Mwamba, Queens, Meru, the Ground Shakers. Pool C has Nakuru, Suburbs, NYS Spades, and Kabarak. 12 teams taking part in the women's competition. Something good for the women in the sevens game.
Most definitely, Michael. It's very good to see that the ladies' numbers have increased from the usual pools that we have. I mean, we've had three tournaments that have had ladies taking part, and it's also very good to see Nakuru continue with that tradition of making sure that women are also involved in the game. Now, I mean, looking at the pools, we have Impala, who are, of course, coming here in red hot form, having won the previous tournament in Nairobi. We have Racket from Western Spears, and NYS Gilgil. Pool B has Mwamba, very experienced. Queens just coming through. Meru have also done a bit of rugby development there. You also have Ground Shakers. Now, Ground Shakers are interesting because they're a high school team, Michael. That is something I can say. They are fresh from winning the Betika Bingo Fest in Kisumu, where I mean, I had an opportunity to watch a few games the Ground Shakers played, and they are very good. They are girls who've played together for a while. They actually have one superstar there, some lady called Lillian Nekesa, who looks to be, I mean, a perfect find for I mean, of course, the national team and development of the women's rugby. She's very, very good. And I wouldn't put it past Pool C also, where we have the Suburbs, Nakuru, NY Spades, and Kabarak. Now, you look at Nakuru, you definitely think that they've always had a women's team, and this is another opportunity for them to show us who they have in their ranks. Of course, they've developed the likes of Kina Grace Adhiambo, the ladies who've gone ahead to represent our national team. And now here's another opportunity playing at home. Should be a good weekend for the women's. I'm just pointing it out that we have young girls coming through, and also we have a bit of experience in the likes of Impala and Mwamba and Northern Suburb Cubs ladies teams. So it's important that this weekend we have quite a challenge for the top position for the women's. I'm looking forward to the women's competition, and yeah, that should light up our moods this weekend in Nakuru.
You know, Walter, Nakuru always lightens up our moods. It's one of those venues that is always sparking to life, and there will be obviously that carnival atmosphere with it being the final leg of the National Sevens Circuit in 2024. But away from that, let's go to the men's competition. Queens are in Pool A. They are with the Zitek Oaks, with the Oilers and Mombasa. KCB in Pool B with Nondi's, Mwamba and Nakuru. Pool C has Black Blood, Strathmore, Masinde Mliro and Monks. Pool D has Kabras, Daystar, the Stallions and Kabarak. Let's start by looking at Pool A. Queens obviously are in imperious form. We have to give it to them. They have persisted throughout this series, and they need to do what they need to do, get out of the pool stages on Saturday and inch ever so closer to the National Sevens circuit title. I don't see anybody stopping them from winning the overall crown. I think the Oilers will also get out of this pool. They had a disappointing outing in Mombasa, though. They played in the challenge competition on day 2, but being at their quote unquote home, they're from the same city as Nakuru. They will definitely be looking to make amends and finish on a high, and of course in front of their home fans. I think for Zetech will be a stumbling block. They'll be a difficult opponent to play against. Mombasa, I think they're there to make up the numbers in the pool. So, in my opinion, from that pool, I do expect Queens and Oilers making it through to the last 8 on Sunday. What about you? What's your take on Pool A?
Like a straightforward pool for Kenya Harlequins, of course, to continue with the dominance. Just like you pointed it out, there's just so much at stake for them. It's an opportunity for them I mean, outside the top local sides who've won this seventh circuit for the last couple of years. I think Queens have a shot, and it's a legitimate shot at going home with a trophy. So that pool has Oilers, Zetech, and of course Mombasa. Mombasa doing the long trek from Mombasa for the very first time this season, and to them and to me, I feel like it's an opportunity for them to come and tour up country and see what really is happening in Nakuru. A well befitting way to at least close the national seventh circuit for their players and of course the management. Now Oilers have blown hot and cold. They've played in quite a number of finals this season. Unfortunately, have not won a trophy for all the hard work that they've done. I feel like it's an opportunity to play at home, and of course, I mean, Coach Gibu will definitely put up a side that looks like they are able to at least compete. So I'm looking forward to Oilers and Kenya Harlequins coming through in that pool. Zetech would, I mean, of course, threaten, but too much in the bag for the likes of Kenya Harlequins and Menengai Oilers. Oilers who, like you pointed out, are playing virtually at home. So it's taking away that fatigue element and travel element away from them. They should be well rested and ready for Prinsloo 7. So that group has Kenya Harlequins and of course Menengai Oilers. I'm not sure if Queens will top the pool. But in no specific order, we probably have Menengai Oilers or Kenya Harlequins, but the two of them will definitely be in the cup quarters come day 2.
Great. Now, looking at Pool B, KCB, Nondis, Mwamba, and Nakuru. I think this one is straightforward for me. I do expect KCB and Nondis through to the last 8. Mwamba, well, the rebuilding phase has been hard, has been painful, but that is what rebuilding is all about. Between them and Nakuru, they will have to contend for the third and fourth places. The very passionate Nakuru fans will beg to differ, but I do think that Nondis and KCB just have too much experience as compared to the passion of Mwamba and Nakuru, and that is what will be good enough to see these two teams competing in the cup quarters on Sunday.
Yeah, Michael, the rebuilding at Mwamba, well, it's, Mwamba has always been a sevens powerhouse. It has always been an excuse that sisi hatuchezi 15, sisi ni watu wa sevens, and sevens pia ni kama wamefikiwa sasa. And, it's been quite a brutal seventh season for them. Accustomed to always playing either in the cup quarters or semis, it's been a rough season for Mwamba. But anyway, that aside, that pool is quite interesting for two sides. I mean, it's split into two because we have two very good sides. That is, we have Nondes. Nondes. I mean, you definitely don't know where to place Nondes because this weekend Nondes plays like a championship team. Next weekend they're in shambles. I mean, Nondes has not really. They've had so much promise from the onset. They had so much promise, and coming to the tail end of the National Seventh Circuit, I feel like maybe they've not really achieved their targets. And here's another opportunity, at least, to either take the cup. You remember last year they won Sepetuka Sevens, and that was a surprise for us, for everyone who's involved in the game, when they went to Eldoret and won it. So I wouldn't put it past them to actually do the same this weekend, because they have a quality squad. It's just that they have that lack of inconsistency that keeps tagging them around. But that pool is very, very clear. KCB will be looking to go top, as always. I mean, trying to make sure that they proceed to the cup quarters. All they need to do is handle their business and hope that a calamity strikes elsewhere. So KCB has to win their games. They have to win their pool games as they proceed to the cup quarters, and of course to the cup semis if they win. Now, the other team in that pool, which to me is going to be a fight, is Nakuru and Mwamba. Now, there's a fight for third and fourth, and Nakuru, playing at home, definitely will be looking to appease their fans over the last couple of weeks. Their performances have also not been as good as they'd have expected, because they played in cup quarters, they played in challenge trophies. They've also had that kind of a season where they blow hot and cold. So it's an opportunity, settled at home. Of course, nothing to lose. For them to at least go for that cup glory this weekend. So I'm looking forward to a KCB and somebody else from that pool. And I feel like if Nondes don't take it up against these two guys, Mwamba and Nakuru, there is an opportunity for either Mwamba or Nakuru to proceed to the cup quarters. So my call in that group would be KCB and Nakuru to proceed to the cup quarters.
Now, man, you guys, Pool C, it's just malaria. Pool C is just malaria. It's just a university affair. Black Blood, Strathmore, Masinde Muliro, and the Monks. That one, wacha decide when watatokezea kule, because all these teams, I mean, they show up, they don't show up. So all I can say is that from Pool C, there will be two university sides in the cup quarters on Sunday.
Well, it's interesting. That is one of the most interesting pools we've had this local seven series, because it's almost a replica of last weekend's pool, where we had the likes of Stallions, I think Quer and Daystar and Strat. I think we had sort of a group like that one going into Driftwoods. But anyway, now here's an opportunity for four top varsity sides in the country, and it is a very, very tight group. Black Blood, fresh from playing in the semis, of course, I know the confidence is really high. Strathmore Leos, quite unlucky last weekend, and Michael, I need to point it out that I think I actually caught a glimpse of that quarterfinal match between themselves and Cabras in Mombasa, and I'd like to point it out that the officiating was not as would have expected, because I thought there were very many mistakes the referee did in that game that denied Strathmore Leos an opportunity. And even that last call for a forward pass, if you review the video footage, you definitely have a second opinion about it. So Strathmore would be going into this weekend feeling aggrieved, and of course looking to make amends from last weekend, because they went through that pool play very, very good. Looking forward to the cup quarters, and it was a calamity there against a top side. So it's important that we note that this group has people who are looking to make up for a lot of missed opportunities. We have Most. Now, Most, come on, Michael. Most is just something else, bro. The physicality that they play with, this is a group of chaos. This is definitely a group of chaos. Now, Adding on to the Black Blood, Strathmore, and Moose, you now have Monks. Now, Monks is a total disaster because Monks have played in literally all but one cup quarterfinal tournament this whole season, and they're quite experienced. And you'd see last weekend when fatigue really took the better of the team, and you could see them struggling towards the end of the national seven circuit. That is attributed to burnout and the amount of hard work they've had to put in through the last couple of legs. So I don't know if the gas has been refilled, the tank has been refilled, but I'm hoping that we have an entertaining pool C, and definitely that is going to be the pool of the tournament. And whoever comes through here, we know day two will definitely have two varsity sides in the cup quarters. We don't know who, but natural selection has to give us somebody. It's an opportunity for the four of them, so it's an opportunity for them to go at each other.
Okay, now we look at Pool D, Cabras, Daystar, Stallions, and Kabarak. I do expect Cabras to make it through to the last eight. Now, who's going to join them? I think for me, it is between Daystar and the Stallions. Kabarak, like Mombasa earlier on, I think they've done well to qualify for the first division. Do they have what it takes to make that second place? I don't think so. We may argue that Daystar, Stallions, and Kabarak are pretty much in the same kind of mold, but I just feel that Daystar and Stallions, just because of having played more in the first division competition at this particular series, just have what it takes. They know how to navigate through the, what can I say, through the chums, so so that they can actually so that they can actually get the result required. So it will be between Daystar and the Stallions joining Cabras in the last eight. That is what I see from my side of this.
Yes, Pool D, Cabras, Daystar Falcons, Stallions, and Kabarak. Now, speaking of Kabarak, they finally won the Division 2 category in Mombasa, and great credit goes to Leon Etich and company at Kabarak. They've really fought for that opportunity to play in the Division 1 category, because remember, they've done so many cup finals for the Division 2 category, and actually are currently topping the Division 2 table standings. This pool looks to be a tough pool for them, because they have the likes of Stallions, Daystar, and Cabras. Now, Cabras, on the other hand, are expected to come top in that pool, because ideally the competition there is not as strong as we've had in previous times for Cabras at pool time, because you have Daystar. Daystar is always a banana peel. At the end of the day, they have Patrick, who's been flying. He was a good. He had a good outing in Mombasa. Patrick Odongo, that is. You have quite a decent squad for Daystar Falcons to compete in this group. And the fight for the second position in this pool, having given Cabras the clean bill of health to go top, the fight for second is now left for Stallions and Daystar Falcons. I don't think Kabarak are going to be able to sustain that fight in contention for the cup quarters. Here's an opportunity for Stallions to finish strong this season, and play at least in their maiden cup quarters. And no better opportunity for them, because Daystar is a team that they've played against. They can compete against Daystar. Of course, Daystar can also compete against Stallions, and it's an opportunity now for them, for the two sides, to qualify for cup quarters, and of course see what that offers them moving into the latter stages of the tournament. So Pool D for me, Cabras, and I would go for
Okay, looks like we've lost Walter there. Yo, internet connection, that's what it does. But Walter was talking about Daystar and Cabras. I don't want to be too predictive, but probably that's what he was saying. Yeah, we'll probably just hold on for him to return to our screens. But in the meantime,
First
that's it.
opinion. Sorry, Michael. Somebody tried calling me Pole.
No problem. I was just blubbering there, trying to fill in the blanks, but you can continue. I didn't say anything preemptive, so you can continue.
Yeah, so ideally, it's an opportunity for Stallions this weekend to play in a cup quarters. This is one of the easiest pools they've ever got on the National Seven circuit. In this regard, I would say that at least they have an opportunity to garner for that second position. So for me, Pool D is going to be Cabras, and finally, my Stallions playing in the cup quarters.
Okay, something a bit off script. I know we were trying to play it safe by just talking about the quarterfinalists, but let's dare predict who do you think is gonna win the Prinsloo Sevens? Because, in my opinion, I've already called it as Queens winning the overall National Seven Circuit title. We'll go with you first, Walter. Who do you think is going to win the Prinsloo Sevens in 2024?
It's very open this weekend, Michael. I don't think Kenya Harlequins are going to win the Prinsloo Sevens. There's so much pressure on them, and when these other teams see a lot of pressure on maybe a top team, I mean, Kenya Harlequins are either going to finish third and win this one narrowly, or they're going to win the tournament, and which I don't really see them doing that, or come in second with a silver medal. But we all agree that the unassailable lead up top for Kenya Harlequins is one big advantage for them going into this specific weekend. Now, I feel like KCB will be looking to make amends for last weekend. They strongly believe that they were the better side in that final. However much the result doesn't show that they were the better side, because Kenya Harlequins eventually won it. I feel like Cabras have made it a habit of making Nakuru a hunting ground, and they've been very successful. They won the Great Rift Tennis side and also are the defending champions of the Prinsloo Sevens. So this offers an opportunity for them yet again to visit Nakuru and, of course, entertain the fans and the traveling fans and, of course, the locals. So I'm looking at a possibility of this weekend being an opportunity for KCB and Cabras to really stamp their authority in the local scene and tell these guys that we are still the big boys within the area in terms of either sevens or 15s. They might not win the overall trophy, but the battle for the Prinsloo Sevens, Prinsloo Sevens trophy, is to me down to KCB and Cabras. I've removed Queens out of that because there is that opportunity for them to either feel that the lead up top is enough. I know they'll make the cup quarters. I'm not sure if they will make the cup semis. That's depending on who they meet on the cup quarters scene. But yeah, my money is on either KCB or Cabras. But if the two don't meet within the process of making it to the cup final, I feel like whoever amongst the two makes it to the cup final will take it. So for me, my money entirely this weekend is on the two sides, KCB and Cabras. But if you ask me who's going to be the winner, I I will not shy away and I'll say maybe Cabras this weekend.
Okay, you say Cabras, I say KCB. I think that they must get it right this time round. They'll be looking to close on a high, and that's it. That's it. And oh, by the way, the women's competition as well. I do expect Impala to wrap it up.
The women, the women's category is also an opportunity for Impala to continue with the dominance. I think the break for the ladies has been sufficient enough for them to go restructure. I'm hoping for a big weekend for the ground shakers, the high school team. I am rooting for them because they showed a lot of grit and a lot of. I mean, for high school students, I thought they were really decent playing last weekend in Kisumu. So I'm looking forward to the women entertaining us, Michael, and it's an opportunity once again to continue with the girl child in terms of rugby, and also offer opportunities that also come for the men to the ladies. So it's quite a balanced weekend, and I'd like to thank Nakuru RFC, of course, for making sure that we have a massive tournament. Remember, the Division 2 category is happening concurrently, and the teams in Division 2 are quite a number. There are 5 pools in Division 2, and there is the ladies category for Prinsloo Sevens, and of course the men's category. So it really encompasses quite a number of teams, and it's a big job putting this all together. And yeah, it's an opportunity for Nakuru at least to entertain their locals, and of course, give us something to think about moving into other rugby activities for the year. So perfect opportunity for the women, perfect opportunity for the men, and of course, perfect opportunity for the fans to come out and enjoy some rugby.
Absolutely. And Walter, every time we get into this forum, there's so much to talk about. And thankfully, we still have next week. Let's talk about the Sevens circuit, retrospectively. Let's talk about other things going on. I think we will be able even to delve now into international rugby. There's a few results that we've played down. The Springbok fans are really running riot in town, and those are conversations that we'll be having next week. Well, it's been a great Sevens circuit season. We're not just wrapping it up yet. Walter, at this point in time, I just allow me to deviate from rugby and move to a tragic incident that happened last week. Last week, I believe in Trans Nzoia County, and this is it. Ruth Cheptegei, the Ugandan marathoner, she lost her life. She was set on fire by her estranged boyfriend, and we condemn this attack on her and all forms of violence and disrespect shown against women. And for Ruth Cheptegei, may her soul rest in eternal peace, and may her friends, her family find comfort. I know it's not the easiest thing to do right now, but this was something really tragic, something really sad. Shouldn't be happening. The reason I brought it up is that we are losing too many sports people, not necessarily in the field of athletics, but even in other sports. Remember, a few years ago, we lost Michael Kwambo to an incident of domestic violence. So, I mean, if we can use this platform as well to not only talk about the game, but talk about things that affect us in society, I think we can be change makers, and we can make this world a better place one step at a time. So to the family of Ruth Cheptegei, may her soul rest in peace. To the Ugandan athletic fraternity, to the global athletic fraternity, it is a big loss. And all you can say is rest in peace.
Yes, Michael. Quite unfortunate. We lost Cheptegei, and it's good that you've pointed it out that we need to point out the ills in society. Gender-based violence, either on men or women, is something that we are condemning in its whole entirety. I believe there are always ways of, coming down on dissent or something that you don't agree with, but taking away somebody's life, which you cannot restore, is something that. This is an opportunity for God to do His work, not for us as man to take away others. because we did not have an input in bringing them into this world, so we don't have a decision to make for somebody to leave this world. So it's quite unfortunate that the Ugandans have lost a very, very good athlete in Cheptegei. It's also very, very disappointing that it had to end this way. And I need to join you in condemning the gender-based violence, and of course, the fight against domestic violence has to really be something that we have to champion. And rest in peace to the lady. And I'm also made aware that the guy who set the lady on fire also passed on later on, I think this week in Nakuru, so in Eldoret. He also had severe burns, so it's sort of, I think it was a suicide mission, and he had to take somebody along, and quite unfortunate. And may her soul rest in peace, and of course, may the family and friends find peace during this trying time.
Also, remember our friend Harold Roldi Tende, still in need of support. He's undergoing another battle with cancer. We will be sharing the details on how you can raise funds to aid his treatment. Harold is a rugby guy. He is a good guy. He's one of us, and let's give him all the love, all the support that we can.
Yeah, most definitely, Harold. And in all this, Michael, he's not laid low. He's been on travels with Strathmore. He's been managing himself well, and he's quite a gentleman. And Michael, it's our responsibility as human beings and as his friends to come through and support him. And definitely looking forward to catching up with Roldi in Nakuru over the sidelines of Prinsloo Sevens. And of course, he definitely knows that we have his back. And of course, we wish him a quick recovery as he fights this battle once again.
And now, as we close, and on a very light note, Walter, I'm going to keep away my laptop charger safely after this recording. We are going to have another episode next week. Thanks for the prompting. Let's catch up again next week on 254 Rugby, discussing the Prinsloo Sevens in review, the Seventh Circuit in review. My name is Michael Kwambo, signing off.
Yeah, my name is Walter Orang'i, and as always, it is a pleasure just asking you fans, those who are in Nakuru and those who are making their way down to Nakuru, safe trip. And of course, I'll be your match day commentator over the next 2 days in Prinsloo Sevens, and I'm looking forward to a very, very entertaining 2 days. Catch you on our next episode of the 254 Rugby, and of course, it's a pleasure. Stay safe and enjoy your weekend. It's been a massive, massive opportunity this week. Thank you, Michael.
Wait, match day commentator, utume salamu, but thank you.
Lazima ndatuma salamu. Cheers, bro. Cheers.